Good afternoon, everybody. This is my 630 Rickshaw. It's the dual motor, dual battery, 3-passenger Rickshaw. Here is the passenger seat. It's upside down. And we received receipt of this tricycle in this shipping container, made together with taped on supports for forklift operations that fell apart before it ever got to our house. And it is non-functional. The electrical system on this eTrike is not powering on, and I've been trying to reach 630 for over a week. At point of sale, they promised that support during assembly was a phone call away and that everything would be fantastic, that assembly would take about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm used to sales promises. However, the outcome, the actual lived experience, matches everyone else's negative everyone else's negative experiences that have been shared online. I have not had the positive experience that many of the canned comments talk about with great customer service and whatnot. So a week ago, I started assembling this eTrike. The initial stages of assembly were pretty easy, honestly. The handlebar comes disassembled. Everything else is pretty much together. So it isn't a huge issue to put it together. It's pretty easy. However, once I pulled the batteries to charge them, I started noticing some things. And these issues make this eTrike 100% non-functional. So I sent an email to 630, and it's taken a week of 3 or 4 emails, 3 or 4 phone calls, and no response. Not even an acknowledgement that an email or a phone call was made. They've got an outsourced call center that takes the call and tells you that they'll get a hold of somebody at the warehouse and get right back to you. And they can't because there's no response. So eventually I started making comments on the 630 Facebook page, and those have gotten traction. I made my first comment yesterday. I sent a message to the social media person who manages their account, and within about 3 hours, I got a response. Our initial communication was, at the time I purchased the Rickshaw dual motor, I also purchased the trailer that goes behind this, which is fantastic. It is engineered like this rear chassis independently with a ball mount or a ball hitch that attaches to that ball mount, which is automotive grade. It's fantastic. It's well engineered, and it uses the exact same back seat, rotate that up, right, to mount onto a trailer that follows right behind us. The axle up, it's the exact back end of the bike, just another one that goes right there. But that was never sent. So I did get a message from 630 saying, hey, we've completed your order. And I was like, whoa. The $700 trailer that I purchased hasn't been delivered yet, and there's been no comment about it. It took a week and my first Facebook message to get the social media director to find out what happened to it. And within just 3 or 4 hours, I got an email saying, hey, we just got a shipment from China and we'll be sending your trailer immediately. And I said, whoa. Before you send the trailer, can you tell me why my bike doesn't work? And nothing, no response. So I messaged the social media director again and said, hey, I'm not going to take delivery of the trailer because the bike is non-functional, as I've been telling you for a week now, with no response. So all of a sudden, I started getting some traction. So we got an email today saying, hey, we're concerned that your experience has been bad. And it wasn't until I told them I was considering returning the bike, because this is insane. I spent $6,000 on this bike and the trailer, and I can't get anybody on the phone to help me troubleshoot the issues. So they sent an email, and rather than making a phone call, they said, we would like a video of the things that you already described to us, because that would be easier So I have to shoot a video, edit it, and then upload it to YouTube and give them the link, because that's easier than a phone call by a knowledgeable person to help me troubleshoot the system. So here you go, 630. This is the video you requested. This is not a disgruntled customer making something up. I will share the actual text of the email along with this video. This is the email that 630 requested to troubleshoot their product. So here is the Rickshaw. Both batteries are removed. There's a battery in the front fairing and a battery that latches on behind the seat. And again, the back passenger seat is removed. I haven't, well, not removed, I've never put it on, because a very prudent YouTuber said, hey, before you do it, you might want to adjust everything. So here are the two battery chargers for the two batteries. They use different charging connectors. The first one is a barrel DC, and the second one is like a microphone input DC charger. 630 says don't plug these into an extension cord. So here they are plugged into an outlet, which is wired directly into the panel of the house across the garage. And here are the two batteries. So as you can see, this battery has a green indicator showing that it is functioning and producing a charge. Here's the barrel. It goes in. Sorry, I got to use both hands for that. So the barrel adapter gets inserted into the battery. It goes over here. And when the battery is full, that green light is supposed to turn red. I'll show you how that works. The other battery is functioning properly and takes a charge. So there's nothing physically wrong. 630 asked for any damage to the connectors. There is no damage to the connectors or batteries on either one. It just doesn't work. So you plug this in. 1 second. And this battery is full, so you'll see this indicator turn red. As soon as I connect it, there it goes, it turns green. I'm going to connect the battery, or connect the charger, and as soon as it connects to this battery, it's like, nope, you're full. So there's that. Now, I'm going to disconnect that because you're not supposed to charge it once it's full. This particular battery, unlike all of their videos, this is a very different battery than what they have their help videos for. So it has an on-off switch right here, and here it does have an indicator light that works when the battery is turned on. So I'm going to turn on this light, turn on the power to the battery. I'm going to push this. It's going to show you, hey, that battery is fully charged. Okay, that's a fantastic item. It's a great diagnostic tool on that battery. The battery here that goes into the front mount, here are the connections to the eTrike itself. So this battery does not have anything similar to that. Ugh. Sorry, I'm a one-man show here and not a professional YouTuber. The chassis battery has a power button right here and an indicator light that doesn't show up anywhere online. There's nowhere that I've found to tell you how this is supposed to work, but there's no on-off switch or anything. But pushing the power button does nothing. Holding the power button, pressing and holding the power button also does nothing. But there is this indicator to the left of the power button. It says RGB, so clearly it's some kind of an indicator light. It's not responsive. So I'm not sure what that means, but here is the charging pack for that battery pack. This battery is currently plugged in and has been plugged in pretty consistently for the better part of a week. The battery does not get warm. The battery has not changed in any way. I check it every 6 to 8 hours to make sure I'm not overcharging it, to check that indicator light to see if it's still green. And the battery still has not taken a charge. So the next part of the video is supposed to be us mounting the batteries onto the bike and then showing what happens here when we turn on to the controller panel, when we turn on the power using this power button right here. So I'm gonna put the phone down, I'm gonna install the batteries, then we'll inspect everything to make sure they're installed correctly, and then we'll turn it on and see what happens. All right, second part of the video. I've installed the rear battery underneath the seat post. It is installed by sliding it down until it makes contact with the silver plate right there. That's where all the connections are. This key has to be turned all the way to the right to lock the battery into place. And then you turn on the battery by turning on the red button that's right here. So that is now turned on. And then we're going to come up here and I'm going to press this power button that's here on the handlebars. Power button is pressed. Nothing is happening. I'm going to press and hold the power button. Nothing is happening. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to check and make sure there's power to this battery. I'm going to press that little. Oh, look. Yep, shows it's full. And that means the battery is also turned on and functioning. Nothing. All right, I'm going to install the front chassis battery and we'll do the test again. All right, third portion of the video. The rear battery is installed and turned off right now. The front chassis battery is installed. The chassis lock right here is supposed to turn to the right and insert a pin holding that battery in place. It doesn't engage. The battery blocks the locking pin. But it's installed and it's clicked in place. It has a button right here, which kind of holds it in place so it's there, fully engaged and fully seated. So let's turn on power. Rear battery is turned on. Let's come up here. I'm going to press the battery power button. Nothing. Not even a flicker. I got it to flicker once and it turned on and it filled with like some pixels up to about here and then shut off almost immediately. I'm going to press and hold. Nothing. All right, so the electrical system is deadlined. Front battery is taking no charge and it's almost impossible. Well, I haven't been able to get it to seat properly using the chassis locking key. The rear battery is fully charged, fully seated. Looks like a very tried and true design. And that's it. One thing we did note is we did try to ride the bike with no battery power, and there was a large grinding sound back here from the differential. You can see the electric motor on top, and then a differential below, and then attached to the sprocket for the bike drive. So that's what we've got. So there's a loud grinding sound coming from that. So I think once we do get it powered up, there's a pretty good chance that the differential is shot, or at least damaged due to the installation. It sounds like the gears aren't well meshed. And that's a sealed unit. You can't do anything with it. No bike shop will touch it. It has to come through 630, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, 630, that is the video that you requested. It is the video that I will be posting. I'll share it on YouTube, and I'll share after this the exact email and what 630 asked for. So there we go. Thanks everybody for joining. I was just moving the bike into place, and I think you can actually hear the grinding sound from the differential. Hang on. So there we go.